Okay, so today I am going to share a little bit about mini quilts. Some of you may follow me on Instagram and have followed along or joined in this summer on the Woollypetals mini quilt swap. This is the second time I've done it, second year in a row, so I think it's an annual thing now. So if you haven't joined in this year, come back next summer. Sign-ups will be in June, and the swap has gone from July 1st through beginning of August. It's 5 weeks. So I thought I would talk about mini quilts today. So I have a really fun mini wall in my new sewing room, and I had a lot of mini quilts hanging in my old sewing room, and I always got comments on them. I really love to make mini quilts because I think that it's a really fun small project. You can add some really great detail and try out a technique that maybe you hadn't done before, or practice your hand quilting or adding fun embellishments or embroidery to something, trying out FPP. There's so many fun small block projects you can make into mini quilts, and that's what we do during the swap. So I'll give a little bit of an overview of the swap, and then we'll kind of talk about different little techniques in mini quilts. And I have a giveaway at the end. I'm going to give you a tiny little sneak peek, so stick around and join in that giveaway. If you're watching this, it's August 8th that this is posted on 2024. The giveaway is going to be through the weekend. So on August 12th, I will announce a winner 2024. So if you are past that, I'm sorry, but join in for some fun on Woollypetals Instagram account and maybe join the swap next year. So I'm going to start talking about minis with the footage of me taking down a mini wall, putting up a mini wall for all the giveaways that are happening the week of August 5th, 2024 on Instagram. If you're seeing this video and you haven't popped over there yet, between August 5th and August 9th, go enter those giveaways. And then at the end, I'll have a giveaway on this video of a mini quilt. So let's get that footage rolling. So let's get into the mini quilts that I have on my wall and what mini quilts are. So right now I am taking down a mini quilt wall that I've been using for promotional stuff and just sharing patterns and designers. And I am going to put up a mini quilt wall that I am giving away all the minis on the wall. So that's what you're going to be watching while I'm chatting with you about mini quilts. And then we'll have some detail shots later and the giveaway at the end. So what is a mini quilt? A mini quilt is really a quilted project that's just small. It's a great project to try out a block for a quilt. And I know a lot of times people do test blocks for quilts, but maybe you don't want to quite cut into your special fabric yet, so you could do it with different fabric and make it into a mini quilt. It is blocks that people try out a new technique like FPP or EPP, and basically you're just making a block any size really, and maybe adding a border or adding some fun details. A lot of people will also custom design their own quilt, mash up multiple blocks from different designers together, and then you quilt it and you bind it and throw a tag on it so people know who made it. There are little hangers you can add to the back, which is fun, or you can use, how I hang my minis is I use map pins. Like, you know, if you have a big map on the wall and they have those really short push pins that look like a pin for holding fabric together, but they're short, and then I use those because I don't really care about the holes in my walls. Like you can see in this video, you can't see that wall is kind of covered in holes at this point, and you can't see them at all. So that's essentially what a mini quilt is. There are all different sizes that you could make. You can see that little acorn on the right hand side with the yellow background. I mean, that's probably like 6 inches. I think the smallest mini quilt I've made is maybe 4 to 5 inches, and then I've made all the way up to the echinacea right there is maybe the largest, 24 by 36. somewhere in that range. I'd say the more average size is in the 12 to 24 inch range, which the Woollypetals mini quilt swap on Instagram, that's the range that we make. It doesn't have to be square, rectangle, but it really should be within those parameters of 12 to 24 inches. So that means that everybody is getting kind of a comparative sized mini as you make it. So the mini quilt swap is fun. I have hosted it now for 2 years, and I think that means it's an annual thing. So keep an eye out next year for it if you haven't already joined in. And basically it's a blind swap where we have a lot of people sign up. This year we had almost 250, and you get somebody that you're making for, and then somebody else is making for you. So it's kind of round robin style, and it's a secret. Like, we share throughout the swap the progress we're making for check-ins so that I can keep track of everything. But it is essentially like you might be able to figure out who's making for you, or you might not. So it's a fun surprise at the end, even if maybe you've seen the quilt being posted on Instagram throughout the whole thing. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. This year in 2024, I had some awesome help with a bunch of swap mamas. Last year I had a couple swap mamas, and they were amazing as well. Just there wasn't enough of us. So I think I've got the right formula for that. I did mini swaps maybe 10 years ago for a handful of years. That's how I knew about them. And I just thought it was a really fun idea. I have also made lots of mini quilts for gifts and for retreats and just fun stuff like that. So that's the wall. And now I have to take it down because I'm doing some filming in between these clips. That is reels for Instagram for the actual giveaways. Like I said, go pop over there through like August 10th. The giveaways are still going on Instagram 2024. So I think another great option for mini quilts is making a mini quilt a pillow, actually, by putting a hidden envelope closure or zipper on the back of a mini, just in case somebody has a large collection already and might not have enough room. That's a great option so that they can throw a pillow form in there. Somebody in our swap did that this year, and I think that's awesome. And I've received a couple of those in swaps as well. I think another really fun thing is making just a small mini with a lot of intricacy to it, doing a really fun FBP pattern or improv, or adding your own little extra details, like adding hand quilting. You know, there's so many fun things you can do. The sky is really the limit. So here, after I did all of that mini quilt wall, put up, take down, I am actually going to share and put up the mini quilts that are going to stay for a while. These are all, except for one, mini quilts that I've made. Some of them have special meanings. Some of them are like the first rendition of a pattern or a test for something that I can't quite get rid of yet, but I imagine maybe in the future I will potentially gift some of these or give some of these away because I only have so much space. So I want to keep kind of the wall rotating and having it bring me joy. So that was the Ghost in the Garden quilt. That was my test block for my Ghost in the Garden bigger ghost party quilt, and I've done kits for that. This next one that I'm hanging up here is a quiet play pattern. It's an anglerfish. I have a weird fascination with them. They're hideous and fun. And on this one, I did a lot of French knots on the body, and I did a lot of hand stitching on the background to give a lot of texture. So that was a really fun quilt to play around with and really take my time with the quilting on. So as I'm making this mini wall, it's kind of funny as you're hanging it. I tend to follow the rule that I know for hanging gallery walls for my interior design days, and that is more to start in the middle and kind of then spiral out from the middle to hang the minis. And of course, you know, I'm probably not going to follow that exactly, but it kind of helps you be able to hang things without having too many weird gaps and stuff. So this next one that I'm hanging now is a one that I've actually had the top made for years. I made gifts for my quilting sisters that we retreat twice a year, and I never quilted the top for mine, so I finally did that. It's a spool, and it was a self-drafted pattern after I saw something kind of similar on Pinterest but couldn't find a pattern, and I used all salvages for it. And then I did quilt just more the background on that one, so the salvages kind of looked like the thread wrapped around, so that was fun. This was another little test block, and it is a tiny little ghost party. If you've purchased my ghost party pattern, you have been able to get the 2 smaller dimension options. If you don't think you have that, check your pattern downloads on Etsy, and if not, message me on Etsy and I'll give that to you for free because it came out after the initial release of the pattern. This is a pattern by Happy So Lucky, and I love it so much, but from that tiny little glimpse, you may not have seen the S I sewed in upside down. So that one is staying because it's a reminder I don't have to be perfect. My echinacea pattern, this was a test when I made it into an FPP in the expansion pack, and I did some fun quilting on the petals and then like hand quilting, and then I did the background as regular free motion. This next one was my first star petals pattern, and that was the first pattern I made as a mini, and I released it last year and gave it away to all swappers. And then the little kitties that you saw that close-up of the hand quilting was a test for a friend, and I hand quilted hearts on the back, and that was a really fun way to hand quilt a quilt. A lot of work, but a lot of fun. This year I made a mini quilt called the Starfy, as well as a full throw size version of the quilt because I had originally made that years ago. And it kind of all came together as the Starfy was a great option for a mini quilt pattern this year. And then the throw size I released at the same time. So that mini quilt pattern went out to all swappers. That's just something I like to do, and I'm hanging that up right now. And then you can also purchase it if you want, or the throw size, or the bundle of both. So here's a little bit of a close-up of the Starfy. I did a lot of hand quilting on it. I really love the texture of hand quilting, and a mini quilt is a great way to try that out if you haven't already. So this next one I think I'm hanging up is a mushroom. So I have a mushroom quilt coming out in, I believe, November 1st, fingers crossed. And this was a test block to see what sizing I was doing. And I really love this size, but I ended up going with the larger size just because it's a little bit less piecing. So I made that block into a mini, and then this is a gift from somebody in the mini swap last year. It was so unexpected at the end. I don't actually join in the mini swap because I would know who has me, and it's a lot to facilitate it and work through. I love seeing what everybody makes, but it was really sweet of her to send me a mini quilt last year afterwards, and she is a swap mama this year, so that's awesome. So I'm just kind of adding in this flag I made a while back that was just a fun little pattern with some hand quilted stars. And that's like my new mini wall that I'll have up for a while. Like I said, I'll have some fun mini quilts to look at, and then maybe in a year or two, I'll give a couple of these away. So I hope you like this little look at the mini quilts this year, and will maybe join in on the Woollypetals mini quilt swap last year. And if you don't, that's totally fine too. I would really love to see you make mini quilts. If you do and you share it on social media, that would be awesome if you would tag me. I love it so much when I can inspire people to do things. And if you've made mini quilts in the past and you want to share them, tag me too. That's fine. I know that I am not the purveyor of mini quilts. Like, I did not invent them by any means, but I think that this swap and my mini quilt wall have kind of made people think about me maybe a little bit more with mini quilts, which is really fun. So yeah, share if you can. And if you joined in on the swap, that's awesome. So let's just talk about this giveaway that I want to do. This is the quilt that I want to give away. Let's see if I can get the whole thing in the frame. This is Quiet Play's Rubber Ducky pattern, and it is really cute. I added the HST border and did some hand quilting across it to give kind of a gingham plaid effect. And I want to give this away to one of you guys on YouTube. I am going to have let me figure out my words here. I'm going to have you comment below Rubber Ducky, and just one comment. And if you subscribe to my channel as well, you'll get entered into the giveaway. I will draw a winner the morning of August 12th, 2024, and I will figure out how to notify you. I've never done a giveaway on YouTube before, so I think that I can just click through and maybe message you, right? Or email you on your YouTube account. So stay tuned for that announcement. I will announce it in the comments or the caption on this video on the 12th. And if I can't figure out how to contact you, then you can check there and then contact me with what I need from you to get this mini quilt to you. It's open internationally, and I hope you like it. It's a really fun quilt that I had a lot of fun making, and I still have to bind it. So that'll be fun for me to work on this weekend. I have my little tag on there, and these are little tabs on the back that you could put a dowel in to hang it on a dowel on nails, or sometimes I just put the pin holding it to the wall through here only and pin it to the wall that way. So join the giveaway below by commenting Rubber Ducky and subscribing to my channel, and I hope to see you around YouTube and Instagram.